Alright, we have a code here that initializes the value 12.45 to the floating point variable val. In the next line, we have an if-else statement which compares the value of val with 12.45. Now a person who does not know what's actually happening behind the code will think that the output should be positive. But if I run the code, the answer is actually negative. Now, why does this happen? Let's understand the logic behind it.
There are many data types to store a decimal value in C++. Two of those are float and double. Now float uses 32 bits and double uses 64 bits, meaning double can store decimal values more precisely than float. And this difference is exactly what causes our bug here. So when we go to the first line of our program, by the way, this is the line where the actual error is happening. So when we start with this, firstly we are creating a variable val of type float, right? The key point to note here is val is of float type, right? And over here we have equated it to 12.45, or we have put the value 12.45 in it. But here 12.45 is a double value. It is of the type double. So what we are actually doing is we are putting a double value in a float variable, which will obviously bring some complications in the program. So what does the compiler do? It converts this double value into a float value. Now during this conversion, the double value loses its precision. So for example, if the double value was 12.45, after conversion it would be 12.44998 something. So this is the actual value that is being stored in val. Now when we move on to the next line, this line essentially is 12.44998 compared to 12.45, which is obviously not true. So this gets rejected and this is our output.
Now there are two ways to fix this problem. The first easy way is that we can just create a double variable instead of a float variable, and this will work just fine, right? The second method that we can use is that we can write it 12.45f and compare it with 12.45f. Now this literal over here is actually a float data type when we write an f over it. So now this will also work perfectly fine, as you can see.